The time by Caracas is 6 p.m. and this is CBX Business News. The business news headlines are brought to you by QMax Wealth Management, making more possible. Jamaica targets AI exports, new financing for small businesses, and chemical prices surge. Good evening and welcome to CBX Business News for Tuesday, April 7, 2026. I'm Rashel Moncrieffe. Thanks for joining us. Coming up, Jamaica eyes an AI services export industry with plans to create up to 10,000 jobs in areas such as cybersecurity and data governance. Also ahead, the Caribbean Development Bank approves a $10 million credit facility for small businesses in Trinidad and Tobago, aimed at boosting access to financing. And later, methanol prices climb to more than 3,000 yuan as Middle East supply disruptions push up costs across the plastics and chemicals market. Stay with us as we unpack these stories and more right after the break.
Are you a business owner ready to grow your business through content? Or are you a content creator who is ready to transform your platform for real profit? Then you need to be at Grow Your Wealth 2026, hosted by Learn, Grow, Invest. On April 18th, we're bringing together entrepreneurs, creators, and industry experts for a powerful one-day experience under the theme Grow Your Business Through Content Creation. If you're serious about growth in 2026, this is your room.
The local news is brought to you by Derrimon Trading, better from the start. The Development Bank of Jamaica, facilitating economic growth and development. Caribbean Flavors and Fragrances, tease the senses, and Pulse Investments. Welcome back to CBX Business News. We begin with a potential new export industry for Jamaica. Jamaica could be positioning itself for a new export industry, one built not on manufacturing, but on artificial intelligence AI services. Speaking during the launch of the Jamaica AI Readiness Assessment Methodology RAM report, Chairman of the National AI Task Force, Christopher Record, says Jamaica is unlikely to win the global race to manufacture AI chips or build the world's largest models. Instead, he argues the country can compete and potentially lead in AI-enabled services delivered to global markets.
While Jamaica is the fastest country in the world, we're the fastest man, the fastest woman, and we've been winning sprints after sprints, we're not going to win, we may not win the global race to manufacture the best AI chips, right? We may not win the race to create the biggest and the fastest and most powerful AI models. We didn't win the football match last night either, right? Those who know. So, but there is a race that we can win, Minister. We can win the AI services race.
Record says the opportunity extends beyond technology firms, pointing to AI-enabled professionals across sectors, as well as growing private sector interests.
Jamaica as a regional AI services hub. Picture teams in Kingston, Montego Bay, Christiana, Portmore, Spanish Town, exporting skills in data governance, cybersecurity, AI assurance, and process automation, training and sector. We recently saw a big almost demonstration where an organization who's making some investment in Jamaica held a hackathon, and first hackathon over 1,000 people registered, the last one almost 1,500 people registered. And so, this organization believes that this is possible. Organization, Intellibus, who has a dream and a wish to hire up to 10,000 Jamaicans to be located here, providing those services globally.
That was Chairman of the Jamaica's National AI Task Force, Christopher Record. A new investment opportunity has entered the market as Mayberry Investments moves to capitalize on a sharp turnaround in its financial performance. Last Thursday, the securities dealer officially launched its Tranche 2 bond, positioning the offer on the back of a strong recovery in earnings and an improved balance sheet. The announcement was made by Chief Executive Officer, CEO Patrick Bataille during the company's investor briefing.
We officially launched our Tranche 2 bond. More information of that will be coming out from our client-facing representatives, but it is an excellent bond, particularly with our earnings looking the way they are, a 2-to-1 ratio on that bond.
The bond launch comes as Mayberry reported a major turnaround, moving from losses in the previous year to strong profitability in the year under review. Bataille says the new bond structure will benefit from the company's strengthened earnings base.
From last year, ultimately what's the value to the bondholders of basically a 5.7 times return based on where we are from a performance perspective.
That was Mayberry Investment CEO Patrick Bataille. Jamaica's move to list Government of Jamaica GOJ bonds on the Jamaica Stock Exchange JSE is not just modernizing the market, it is reshaping how investors interact with it. While much of the focus has been on transparency and liquidity, industry insiders say the bigger shift is behavioral, giving investors more autonomy in how they participate in the fixed income market. In an exclusive interview with CBX Business News, President of the Jamaica Securities Dealers Association, Senator Ramon Small Ferguson, says while the new platform allows for more direct interaction with bond trading, it does not remove the role of intermediaries.
In Jamaica, securities dealers have always stood in the bridge between customers interacting with the capital markets, and will continue to do so. The truth is that we have long had a system where equities have been listing as an example, and brokers have continued to play a vital role in that kind of intermediation. So even if this system allows for customers to be more autonomous and trade on their own, they will be doing so via a broker. We will continue in our role, whether it's facilitating the transaction operationally or giving advice as trusted partners for people who participate in the market. So it really doesn't affect our role. We still remain central participants in the process. It just enhances the efficiency, and again, it just modernizes how people interact with this section of the market.
That was President of the Jamaica Securities Dealers Association, Senator Ramon Small Ferguson. We move now to a major development from Jamaica's capital market. Shareholders of Kintyre Holdings JA Limited say plans to pursue an international holding company and a proposed New York Stock Exchange listing remain firmly on track despite ongoing court proceedings involving VM Investments Limited. In a shareholder statement, the controlling group clarified that they are not parties to the legal action and that their shareholdings and strategic initiatives are not subject to any court order restricting their actions. The restructuring, they emphasized, relates only to the shareholders forming the proposed international holding company and does not represent a restructuring of Kintyre Holdings itself. Shareholders also reaffirmed confidence confidence in the company's growth trajectory, noting assets exceeding $15 million alongside a strengthened financial position and record profitability in 2025. The group says it remains committed to building a regional and global investment holding company spanning the Caribbean and Latin America, while signaling it may pursue legal options to address what it describes as a potential mischaracterization of its role. The clarification keeps the spotlight on a potential overseas listing, seen as a significant step towards expanding Jamaican investment firms into global capital markets. We move to the latest updates from the JSE equities. In Tuesday's trading session, the JSE market activity resulted in the trading of 121 stocks, of which 33 advanced, 64 declined, and 24 traded firm. Today's winners are MFS Capital Partners, First Rock Real Estate Investments Limited USD, Margaritaville Turks, and CAC 2000 Limited. While leading the losers are Caribbean Assurance Brokers, Kintyre Holdings JA Limited, Sterling Investments Limited USD, and Blue Power Group Limited. The main index declined by 3,590.53 points to close at 340,876.51 points. The junior market index also declined, but by 41.68 points to close at 3,340.33 points. It's time for the Market Education feature, brought to you by CARICRIS, Regional Ratings, Global Standards. As we draw closer to the end of our investment education series, today we're looking at the term yield. Yield is the income generated by an investment, expressed as a percentage of the amount invested. The type of income depends on the asset. Shares provide dividends, bond generate interest, and real estate produces rental income. Because some investment income is taxed, investors often focus on net yield rather than gross income. A broader measure is total return, which includes income, distributions, and capital gains over a specific period. Understanding yield helps investors evaluate how much income their investments are producing. That was the Market Education feature, brought to you by CARICRIS, Regional Ratings, Global Standards. And that's it for the local news segment. Please stay with us. The regional news is up next. The local news is brought to you by Derrimon Trading, better from the start. The Development Bank of Jamaica, facilitating economic growth and development. Caribbean Flavors and Fragrances, Tease the Senses, and Pulse Investments.
Are you a business owner ready to grow your business through content? Or are you a content creator who is ready to transform your platform for real profit? Then you need to be at Grow Your Wealth 2026, hosted by Learn, Grow, Invest. On April 18th, we're bringing together entrepreneurs, creators, and industry experts for a powerful one-day experience under the theme Grow Your Business Through Content Creation. If you're serious about growth in 2026, this is your room.
It's feeling so good right now. Feeling so good right now. Yeah, yeah. It's feeling so good right now. Feeling so good right now. Yeah, yeah. It's feeling so good right now. Don't never, ever, ever wanna calm down. Oh, no, no.
I was very direct. If you didn't like something, we told you.
I was a visionary leader, instrumental in establishing a number of new industries in Jamaica, including the development of mass affordable housing. You're staying to turn off the lights? He said, no, my friend, I'm staying here to supervise the man that is turning off the lights.
Welcome back. And now for the regional business news. Small businesses in Trinidad and Tobago are set to receive a boost in financing following a new $10 million facility from the Caribbean Development Bank, CDB. The funding will be channeled through Development Finance Limited and target sectors including agriculture, manufacturing, tourism, and energy efficiency. The bank says the facility is designed to address limited access to credit, a key constraint on small business growth. CDB Division Chief for Private Sector Development, Lisa Harding, says small and medium enterprises are critical for job creation, innovation, and economic diversification, noting the facility will help deepen support in the sector. The program will also include a grant component to support risk management, including climate resilience and social governance practices. Meanwhile, the facility is expected to expand private sector activity and support long-term economic resilience. St. Kitts and Nevis government is moving to set aside a portion of the country's national revenue in a major policy shift aimed at strengthening economic stability. Speaking in Parliament recently, Prime Minister Dr. Terence Drew announced plans to establish a sovereign wealth fund to channel earnings from the Citizenship by Investment (CBI) program and future geothermal projects into long-term savings and investments.
So, Madam Speaker, this government is establishing the St. Kitts and Nevis Sovereign Wealth and Resilience Fund as a statutory, professionally managed investment vehicle to safeguard national revenues, especially volatile inflows from the Citizenship by Investment program and emerging geothermal revenues, and to convert those revenues into durable national wealth.
The fund is intended to build a financial buffer against global shocks, support disaster recovery, and reduce dependence on volatile revenue streams.
The bill's stated purpose include intergenerational savings, disaster recovery, counter-cyclical fiscal support, long-term fiscal sustainability, and in carefully controlled circumstances, resilience-enhancing infrastructure. Madam Speaker, this is saving when we have plenty for the days of scarcity. Madam Speaker, the idea is simple. Though its architecture is sophisticated, when a country receives extraordinary revenues, wisdom demands that a meaningful share be saved, invested prudently, and protected by law.
That was Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis, Dr. Terence Drew. In financial news, National Flour Mills Limited is reporting solid operational growth for the year ended December 31, 2025, with revenue rising to $540.5 million Trinidad and Tobago dollars, representing a 3.3% increase over the previous year. Gross profit also improved, climbing 4.8% to $168.9 million, while operating profit rose 8.3% to $69.7 million, signaling strong core business performance. However, profit after tax declined to $42 million, down from $44.2 million in 2024. The company attributed this drop entirely to a sharp increase in taxation, which rose to $27 million. Earnings per share also eased to 35.5 cents when compared to 37.4 cents the prior year. On the balance sheet, total assets grew significantly, up 18.3% to $557.3 million. During the year, National Flour Mills invested more than $46 million in capital projects, including the implementation of a new enterprise resource planning system to improve efficiency and support future growth. The company also reported strong performance from its feed division, expanded distribution through its Carlson Field facility, and positive early results from the relaunch of its Ibis brand. Looking ahead, management says it is positioned to expand regionally and continue building on its operational momentum despite a challenging economic environment. It's now time for news from the Trinidad and Tobago Stock Exchange. Overall market activity resulted from trading in 19 securities, of which 1 advanced, 9 declined, and 9 traded firm. Today's winner is Point Lissus Industrial Port Development Corporation, while leading the losers are National Enterprises, Guardian Holdings, Prestige Holdings, and First Citizens Group Financial Holdings. Trading activity resulted in the following movements. The All TNT Index declined by 4.39 points to close at 1,330.57. The Composite Index declined by 2.28 points to close at 927.41. The Cross-Listed Index remained at 69.44. The SME Index remained at 91.16. And we take a short break. But please do stay with us. The international news segment is up next.
If it were not for the Jamaica Stock Exchange listing, Phosphate Company Limited would not be where it's at today. I called them, they listened to my concerns and my fears, and they gave me the answers. All the fears I had about banks, about losing control, you are having them. And I tell you, they were dissipated when I spoke to the Jamaica Stock Exchange. This is one of the best decisions I have ever made in business. If you want to change the trajectory of your business and to grow, make that call today to the Jamaica Stock Exchange. You will be glad you did.
Has so much book you need for high school?
I'll show you how to make sure you have all the money for my books and even some extra. It's called budgeting, Dad. Making a budget is the most important thing you can do to track your money. It keeps a record of how much you make, how much you spend, where you spend it, and most importantly, how much you can save. Write down all your income, write down all your expenses, see where you can cut down and allot more money to more important things, like saving.
Welcome back. In international news, methanol futures climbed to 3,370 Chinese yuan per ton, the highest level since October 2021, as Middle East supply disruptions tighten availability for key plastic feedstocks. The chemical, widely used in fuels, plastics, and olefins production, is reflecting mounting supply constraints across global markets. Iran remains a major supplier to Asia, with at least half of China's imported methanol estimated to originate from the country. Concerns over reduced export flows have pushed prices higher worldwide, raising input costs across manufacturing supply chains. Elsewhere in the chemical complex, polyethylene surged above 9,000 yuan per ton, a 4-year high, while polypropylene rose to 9,758 yuan per ton, its strongest level since October 2021. Synthetic rubber also climbed near historic peaks at 8,150 yuan per ton. Meanwhile, those energy-linked supply risks are also weighing heavily on European equity markets. European equities closed sharply lower on their first trading day since last Thursday, as escalating Middle East tensions heightened fears of an energy crisis among major importers. The Eurozone's Stocks 50 dropped 1.1% to 5,630, while the Stocks 600 fell 1% to 591. U.S. President Donald Trump escalated threats of potential strikes in a final bid to pressure Iran, while Tehran cut communication channels with Washington, raising concerns the conflict could intensify. The resulting rise in oil and natural gas prices lifted bond yields and pressured industrial companies, with Siemens, Schneider Electric, and Airbus each falling nearly 2%. Chip equipment maker ASML also dropped 4% after U.S. lawmakers introduced the Match Act to tighten export restrictions on semiconductor tools to China. And investor caution also extended into Germany, where energy risk and geopolitical uncertainty triggered another sell-off. Frankfurt's DAX 40 ended Tuesday down about 1.1% at 22,938 after a volatile session, as investors turned cautious ahead of a deadline for Iran to reopen the Strait of Hormuz. Expectations for a resolution faded as Iran stepped back from ceasefire talks amid intensifying U.S. strikes and increasingly aggressive rhetoric from Washington. Rising oil prices added to market unease, fueling concerns about renewed inflation pressures across Europe. Most sectors finished in negative territory. Heidelberg Materials led declines with a 4.1% drop, followed by Adidas, Qiagen, Rheinmetall, and Zalando, each falling roughly 3%. On the upside, BASF gained 1.8%, supported by stronger momentum in the chemicals sector. And that's it for the international segment of the newscast. The news recap is coming up on the other side of the break.
Caribbean Flavors and Fragrances Limited has been a part of Jamaica's manufacturing landscape for over 20 years. By crafting unique flavors and fragrances, we have become a part of your favorite household and food items, such as beverages, ice cream, household cleaners, and much more. Known throughout the Caribbean for the highest quality, we continue to innovate with strong leadership, a dedicated team with integrity. We go the extra mile for our customers. Create the next taste sensation. Contact us at 876-923-5111 or visit our website, Facebook, Instagram, or LinkedIn pages.
And now to recap our top stories. In the local news, Jamaica eyes AI services export industry, targets 10,000 jobs. Regionally, CDB approves $10 million credit facility for small businesses in TNT. And internationally, methanol hits over 3,000 yuan as Middle East disruptions lift plastics. Those were the stories making today's CBX Evening News. On behalf of the entire production team, I am Rashel Moncrieffe. Thanks for watching CBX, your region, your business, your source.